In news from Jamaica, the highly anticipated report detailing the security forces' conduct during the May 2010 West Kingston operation has been made public. The Commission noted that there was probable evidence that then-fugitive Christopher Dudus Coke was tipped off about his extradition request from the United States. The report rebuked security officers for alleged extrajudicial killings and has also advised the government to apologize and compensate victims. The three-member commission that investigated the conduct of the joint police military operations into the May 2010 West Kingston incursion have released their findings. The comprehensive 900-page document was tabled in Parliament on Tuesday by Justice Minister Delroy Chuck. The May 2010 Security Forces operation into the West Kingston community of Tivoli Gardens was aimed at capturing then-fugitive Christopher Dudus Coke, who was facing extradition to the United States on charges of firearms and narcotics. According to the Commission's findings, it was very probable that Coke was tipped off about the U.S.'s extradition request and as such barricaded himself into his West Kingston enclave. The Commissioners took note of the evidence provided by then Commissioner of Police Rear Admiral Hardly Lewin, who testified that on August 24, 2009, he telephoned then Chief of Defense Staff Major Stuart Saunders and informed him that there was a request for the extradition of Coke made by the U.S. government to the government of Jamaica. Major Saunders and Commissioner Lewin then reported the matter to then National Security Minister Dwight Nelson and former Prime Minister Bruce Golding. Both law enforcers had testified to the Commission that the plan was to capture Coke at his Belvedere St. Andrew home, but somehow word got to him of the extradition request, and that's when he sought to hide in Tivoli Gardens. The Commission ruled that the leak of information minimized the opportunity for a soft detention and gave Coke time to fortify himself within Tivoli. However, the Commissioners say they were unable to make a positive finding as to the origin of the tip-off. The report also examined the impact of former Prime Minister Bruce Golding's broadcast to the nation on May 17, 2010, outlining the security forces' intent to capture Coke. The Commission noted that Mr. Golding's announcement took away the element of surprise from the planned security operations and allowed the supporters of Coke to mobilize their own forces against the security forces. And there were also stinging criticisms for the security forces. The Commission raised concerns about the small number of firearms which were recovered in Tivoli Gardens in the main area of the conflict. According to the Commission, they were asked to accept the evidence that there were approximately 300 gunmen in Tivoli Gardens and Denhamtown, yet on May 28, 2010, only 28 firearms were recovered. The Commission also rebuked the Jamaica military, calling its decision to fire 37 mortar rounds into Tivoli Gardens a serious error. The report states that given the geography of the area, it was reckless and wholly disproportionate to the threats of gunmen. It added that the use of mortar fire inside the built-up area of Tivoli Gardens was a breach of the duty to protect the lives of residents. Major General Saunders had testified that he authorized the use of mortars. However, Commissioner Ellington testified that the use of mortars was not disclosed to him. The three-member tribunal indicated that it was surprising that the former police commissioner was never briefed. As it relates to command effectiveness and the maintenance of discipline, the findings suggest weak leadership in the Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF. The Commission ruled that while the JDF used its best endeavors to deal with soldiers who misconducted themselves whilst on the operation, there is no evidence that the JCF dealt similarly with any of its officers. Tivoli residents had complained of some officers wearing masks and instances of alleged abuse. According to the Commission, the prevalence of complaints of extrajudicial killings suggests a pattern of abusive and illegal conduct that was unrestrained by supervision. The Commission says in their judgment, Commissioner Ellington should have been held administratively accountable for weak superintendence of the JCF in May 2010. The Commission listed 15 persons it said could have been killed by members of the JCF. Among them were 17-year-old Denhamtown High School student Fernando Grant and his brother Fabian Grant. Their mother Marjorie Williams told the Commission that they were taken from their homes and executed by masked policemen. The David Simmons-led commission asserts that it found Miss Williams to be a truthful witness, noting that the evidence is suggestive of deliberate murder by unidentified police officers. Over 70 civilians were killed in the May 2010 joint military operations.